Hello. I'm coming out of one of the chats. I think it was that one. Yeah. So today, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel very unmotivated today. I just don't feel very well today, but not in a sicky way. My sides hurt. Like they've been hurt for like 2 months now. My throat hurt. My throat doesn't hurt. My throat feels blocked constantly. I think I read it up like a month ago, and the gloaters, feeling of lump in throat, but can eat fine. Globus, that's it. From what I can tell, it's Globus. But I don't know why, on top of that, my sides hurt. But I keep just getting told to just wait for my ears, nose, and throat doctor, which is, if I don't get to see him this month, it's now been 7 months of waiting, which is glorious, you know. NHS, best service in the world, because they don't actually see patients and they just let them die, and then they don't have to take responsibility for not being able to cure them. Oh, he didn't come in. I know that's not actually how it works, but it's very frustrating having to wait so long to actually go see a doctor who can possibly help me with my issue. Where do I start? Start on the handle. I don't know if I like starting on the handle. A lot of people say to start from the barrel and work your way off from that, but I don't know if I want to start there either. Like I said, I'm not very motivated to do 3D right now. I could just work on the Simpsons scene. Yeah, my throat. Like, I'm getting it's probably a bit too much information. I'm getting like constant tonsil. Like, I wonder if they are linked actually if I were in tonsil stones, globus, and tonsil stones. Tonsil stones tend to cause globus. Dunno. But every week I'm having to clear tonsil stones out my throat. It's not very nice. They taste disgusting. And I'm pretty sure I could taste one right now. I think there's a misconception when I talk to my friends and stuff that I am uncomfortable every single waking hour of the day for about a year now. And for like the last 3 months, 3 months, I've had pains in my sides too. So I've had a very uncomfortable throat for like a year. And on top of that, last 2 to 3 months, I've also had side pains. And I've been exercising recently. It's not because of the exercise, because I didn't start exercising 3 months ago. 2-3 months ago, and I'm trying to like force myself to do exercise and stuff, which further causes pain in parts of your body when you exercise. So obviously when you do, I've only just got back into it, so like my arms hurt for a bit. They're fine now, because I did arm day and I lifted weights and everything. So I have muscle pain, which is, you know, I'm actually not too fussed with muscle pain, but when it's accompanied by side pain and a very uncomfortable throat every single waking hour of the day. It's why I like sleeping so much recently, because at least when I'm asleep, I don't have to feel this much discomfort. But yeah, I am uncomfortable every second of the day right now, and the doctors do not care, and I'm just waiting for them to finally send me a letter to say I can go see a doctor about my issues. And I dislike the doctors, not for that reason. I'm just uncomfortable going to the doctors, and I desperately want to go. I really want a doctor to see me. Oh, did I post that I was streaming? Not Steam, Discord. No, I didn't. But like, I keep getting. I don't like to be the person who complains about something every day. So maybe that's why people don't realize I don't want to say suffering, because it's not like I'm in like intense pain or anything. But I don't want to tell people every single day, oh, I'm very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. But anytime I like, are you alright, Steve? Yeah, my throat's making me feel uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, it's still an issue. Yes, it's an issue every single day. I don't really know how to talk to people about it, because anytime I re-mention it, they act surprised that it's still a thing. I'm like, I don't think this is going away. I think until it gets sorted by a doctor or I die, I'm going to be feeling uncomfortable. Again, I don't really like to play about it too much, because... Oh, whoa. Look, my scene comes up when I write Steve's living room. Well, that's neat. Where's that guy? Tech Advisor. When was this made? October 25th. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I don't really like to play about it. I know I'm complaining about it right now, because obviously people have way more issues that they don't complain about. The only thing I'm really complaining about is that I'm not being seen by anybody. I just want somebody to actually... Like, I've been to my doctor 4 times. Oh no, someone's doing a scene that looks better than mine. Oh, this is ages ago. Oh, it's not quite the same. Yeah, I've been to my doctor 4 or 5 times. I've not been to him once the last 6 months, because basically he stopped wanting to see me because he said just wait for NHS doctor. NHS doctor? Ears, nose, and throat doctor. And even though I have an issue with my throat, he's not even asked me to open my mouth, and even him shy. Freaking, if he pulled out a freaking industry torch to have a look in there, he's not done anything. He's not a quick look to see. Because what if it was tonsillitis and he just... I just had very weird sensation from it, because tonsillitis doesn't exactly feel that way at all. But what if I was just describing it in a weird way, and he was like, oh, let me have a look. Oh, it's tonsillitis. He'd be able to see that. He has not asked for anything. He's not asked to look into my mouth. He just sits there in his chair, talks about it for like a minute, and then sends me on my way. It's supposed to be a 15-minute doctor's appointment as well. I'm probably in there for a minute or less. Like, he does not want to see me. He's very against seeing me. It's very obvious he thinks I'm maybe a hypochondriac, and he doesn't actually seem to think I'm uncomfortable, or seems to think I'm exaggerating it, because you don't treat someone like that you think is telling the truth. Maybe doctors do, maybe this is how doctors act, but I don't want living room anymore. I want kitchen. I want to see that. I want to see that. Okay. So we're just going to, I guess, make it like an orange wood. It's going to be glass, obviously. And the glass is kind of busted, as you guys have seen plenty of times in this scene. We need some scuff marks. Have I got any decals? Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong folder anyway. We've not got any... Oh, right, that's not a spline. That's cool. Okay. Oh, what the heck? These aren't two-sided. Oh, yes, because I turned off two-siding on most things. There you go. So I discovered that Lumen does not like two-sided materials. Now, it's still very busted in here. Like, that wall literally doesn't exist in the reflection for some reason. Well, it kind of does. You can see it, look. It's just got a hole in it there. But it's definitely better than it was, because when it's two-sided, I probably could show you by double-clicking and turning it on in the material in here. So if we look into the reflection, watch how much it breaks. Okay, it's not breaking that much for some reason. Okay, that side looks like it's broken more, right? Oh wow, no, it doesn't look any different at all. Either way, they if I like look into our distance fields, what's this? Show lumen perspective, visualize. Oops, visualize. Mesh distance fields. Look at the walls. Look, whoa! Why does it do that? The ceilings are completely messed up. The ceiling is literally just like a plane as well. Like it is literally just a plane. So why does it have so much trouble? Can't. Lumen is just so bad for software based. It's because it bases the shadows. Like, look, these clearly work fine. Like, yeah. So I haven't separated up the room separately. Admittedly, maybe I should do that. I did attempt that and it didn't do anything. But why they're just flat planes? So why are they causing so much issue to begin with? It's not to do with their bounds, is it? I don't know if bounds affect. Oh, bounds do affect our distance fields. That's interesting. Oh, or do they? Hold on a minute. Is it because it's recalculating it after I do that? Well, no, now it's just completely invisible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, 40. Okay, so I don't know. It bounces seems to be affecting it all. I don't know. Distance fields are just not the one. It just doesn't like it. Which is what's causing our reflection issues. Like, look, the floor looks like it doesn't even exist. You know, there's clearly a floor. And again, it's just a plane. So why the issue? Pee pee poo poo. I don't get it. EV with SSG branch is close to Lumen. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm obviously making it all in. I want to make it all in real-time Unreal. So that's kind of... The intent is to make it so it's a fully playable Unreal game. Doesn't necessarily have to have someone walk around, but I want it in Unreal. It's just annoying. If I had... Are you okay, Unreal? If I had a ray tracing card, it'd be fine. It's only when it's software Lumen or software ray tracing these issues seem to appear, but in hardware ray tracing, it seems fine. Because for those of you who aren't aware, Lumen is ray tracing. I think it's, from what I've read, it's like a mix between screen space and ray tracing, but it is ray tracing because it uses ray tracing architecture, uses ray tracing hardware cards for the hardware version of it. File, open recent. Type block out? Nope. Which one is that? Is that one? Is it... E-drive. What's that one? There you go. What was I making? Hold on a minute. This is an old one. And this is old. This is when I was making the... Oh, wow. It's all messed up. What the heck? Why is everything, like, overlaying each other? Is it the old one? Now I'm very confused. Come on. Soros, Crystal Play-Doh, Goose, Anti, Jelly Letter. Yeah, this has got like old stuff in it. That's all like overlaying each other. This has to be the old one. Like, it's got a fence going through the middle of the... Yeah, look, there's like nothing in here. What? Where is it then? House for tutorial. That's what I just opened. Once you get this in Dino, entire block out. No. Is it on my desktop? Oh, no. I'm terrible at this because I should really be more organized, but I just have so much... I probably make 10 to 20 Blender documents a week. I just end up having a lot of stuff. That's not this one, is it? I thought I opened it recently. I mean, I did, but clearly not recently enough. Oh, see, this has a bit more in it. Oh, that was a really old one. So that's Sips's house for tutorial. You're the opposite of me. I end up with a comically large Maya scene. I did both, but I just because I'm doing work on 3 different projects at work at the moment, right? And then I'm making singular assets for each thing, and I'm doing different things. I'm doing so many different things that I just end up with loads of Blender files and loads of thingies. They're not all meant for the same project. Is the problem. So these are the Unreal documents. Is it in here? Ferris soil, grass, living room, USA map. My current job keeps me on my toes for a lot of different things I have to be making. It's the problem. What's scene for fun? Scene for fun. Dot blend. I have to see what that is. What is this? Oh yeah. I forgot I was making this little scene. I'm surprised it wasn't in my files. Today I discovered Blender bump maps. Oh really? Like how much stuff like wall window tiles, electric lighter, edit sign 3D, entire blocker. It's not entire blocker. That's my other project, like my one of my white projects. Monitor kit. Is that my other one? That's my other white project. Yeah. Can I not get a bigger list of recents? I mean, I guess I could go. What are saves? Wow, there's nothing in the autosaves. Bump maps. That's what it's in the autosaves, really? I mean, why don't I just quickly go... I can't believe I've lost this file. I haven't been in my Simpsons feed for apparently a little bit. I could just go check on a past stream, see why I opened, or look at the bit up here. Oh, this is a recovered file. Is that just because I clicked on that? Let's go to my lives. I've been working on the Canon. I guess it has been a hot second since I've worked in the Blender scene. There you go. Oh, it is on my desktop. See, my desktop's also messy. House for tutorial. Have I cleaned it up since then? Maybe I've cleaned it and moved it from here. It does not seem to be on my desktop. Is it? Oops. On this desktop? Oh. Okay, I've clearly cleaned it up at some point. Oh boy. It's on my E drive, apparently. E drive. That one? That one. House for tutorial. One day I will clean all my stuff up. I just don't know where to start. Just so much garbage. I also started from blind date. It was slightly annoying but rewarding in the end. What was annoying about it? Tell me. As a person who teaches people daily how to use software. Let's see if we can relate. Alright, this is looking better. Okay. I think my dogs are outside my room. My brother's just come over, so my dogs are freaking out. That's why. So you want the cabinet. Here we go. Is it unwrapped? It is not. Let's unwrap the cabinet. Cabinet should be fine if I've got an interior. Oh, I've got 2 layers. Ooh. I do have an interior. Sweet. That's all it really is, right? I'm not looking at any more detail. Obviously, the rest comes from the textures. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't actually have a 3rd shelf. Oh, it doesn't. It's just the ground. Okay, that's cool. I think the shelves need to be thinner. Scale them individually. Like so. Maybe a little bit more. And I could put like some hinges and stuff. I don't know if I want to. I guess it depends how much we care about getting close to it. What we're going to do is we're going to send it to the center of grid. And we're going to work on it over here because when I spawn stuff in, we'll get it nice in here. So if we do want some, not hinges, but some, yeah. What would they keep called? The bits that hold up the shelf. How did you get that view mode? Which view mode? In Blender? Like with this sort of shading setup? It's just a basic view mode, except I've clicked on this little drop down and I've turned on this. Turn this on. It's usually set to world. I set it to both. I usually turn up the valley and stuff to turn up the shadows. And I slightly turn the ridges down, and you get this kind of look. You can also turn on shadows, but I have a roof on, so we won't get shadows. I say that. Oh, even if it's hidden, do we not get shadows? That's interesting. Oh, no, it's just the shadows being cast like over here, and then this is in the way. It makes it run a bit slower as well if you have shadows on, so I just turned off shadows and roll with that. Do you swap Blender projects all at once or to UE? If I'm under a really strict time constraint, I will sometimes do it in in chunks, but mostly I'll export it separately. You usually want to do it separately and rebuild it in the engine, especially if you're making video games. The biggest reason for this is because of origin points. If we import, and modularity, right? Because if I made the scene in Blender and export it as one, like these chairs would be 4 separate objects. If you go into parts of my scene, you'll actually see that. Like in here, is it in here? No, is it? I don't think anything left in here has just been placed from here. No, everything's pretty good at the moment. You'll end up with basically, let's say you put 8 different models in Blender, right? The cavity, the vice president never found that. Not the cavity, the roaming camera, just shift F and you can fly around. That's how I always move around my scenes. My friend was like, I never do that. I was like, I always do that, man. Like, because if I have a scene like this where it's like a house, I can then fly around it to just make sure and look at stuff and go, oh, wait, this, and go click on it. It's like my favorite way to maneuver around my scene. Yeah, so talking to Save. I hope that's how you say your name. I apologize if that. So if I've got 4 chairs around a table, right, which I don't even have that, I would select all of it at once and export it all as basically one object. It won't necessarily come through as one object because you can make it so it doesn't combine it, but then you'll have 4 chairs coming. You only need 1 chair. You want to make it modular, right? So instead of doing that and exporting it all as one set, we export one in. Never knew about the shift up. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a very... Why is it blurry? Oh. There you go. Yeah, so if you drag in one share, it means I can then go, okay, we want another one, and they still use the exact same share model, SM_share. I don't know why it's got the 62 at the end. We'll just do that. And boom, they all share the same share model, right? And that also means if I go, actually, I want my share to be a little bit bigger, it also saves on how big your files are, because it means you're not saving data for 4 separate shares that are exactly the same thing. You're only saving data for one of them. This is just one reason. I'll go over some other ones in a minute. So if we go 222, for example, I want all the shares to scale up double the size. Instead of having to go into each one separately or manually scale them in here and go, yeah, we'll do it 5 times or click all of them and do it. You could just go into the one asset that you have, 222, and go build. And boom, we've now got shares double the size. We obviously don't want them that big. That's one reason you do it like that. The other reason... there you go, is origin points. If you have a whole scene you exploit, or even exploit in separate assets, like you click not combine when you port them in, you will get, and I have some examples like this, you'll get some examples like this. So I've clearly not made an origin point for these, and boom, we have our origin point all over here. So if I want to move that, I have to move it from all the way over here. You can set your custom pivot point, kind of, by moving it with middle mouse click and Alt, and then right click and go pivot... set pivot point, and now, whoops, and now that'd be set every time you click on it. And that's kind of a workaround, but it's just always much more efficient to... I love making my whole scene in Blender. People who have watched my stream for years will know that. In fact, every single scene I've made, every single one I'm pretty sure I've made, I will make the entire scene. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chat. Hello all, I hope you're all doing well. I am doing decently. Get a gaming job. How's it going, man? Have you got a gaming job? Yeah, so every single scene I've made on my portfolio, I don't think on my actual work, partly, I would have made it fully in Blender first. But I won't select the whole thing, export it. I'll then start exporting each component out and basically move them to the exact points that they are in Blender. That way, when you're in the Unreal Engine, like I showed you, we'll have these really nice origin points. We won't have duplicated meshes, and you can make it as modular and efficient as possible. And it's just better for the workflow overall. It's not just for, oh, it works better for games. It just works better for your workflow doing it that way. Because, like, look, I can now move this off the wall, right? These aren't one combined mesh, or they're not, like, they don't have, like, really funky origin points because they're around the center of the map. Like, they'd be somewhere over here. They're just... where I set them. I would have brought this in if we drag it out. And it also means if I want to make changes in the Unreal Engine, I could just go, oh, actually, I want a spatula on the side, you know? I want one sitting over in the corner. Boom. Whereas if I had it fully set in Blender, I sure do have a gaming job. Pity me. Oh, no. Gaming job as in you play games for a living, or gaming job as in you develop games for a living? Because there's a big difference, obviously. You guys like my skull cup? I got this for Christmas. It's super... what's the one I'm looking for? Not cheap. I assume this was cheap. It's super... goofy is not the word I'm looking for, but it's the word that comes to mind. I can't think, but yeah, it's a funny. I love stuff like this. Even if you buy me a super cheap one, as long as it's functional. Well, you guys aren't buying me anything, but you know what I mean. I totally agree with the official version of the project should be always be made within DCC, and Unreal should only be used to render it. I totally agree. The official version of the project should always be made within the DCC. I assume DCC means the original modeling software, like I've done here. DCC. I've got to know what that abbreviation means, right? I'm just forgetting. DCC. Meaning. Digital compact cassette. Is that what it means? Oh, maybe I didn't know what I meant. See, I make it in here, but you can completely make it in the engine, because at the end of the day, you want it to be placed, or not necessarily manually, but you want it to be placed or aligned in the engine to show the other points I made. So basically, I'm building it in both at the end of the day, instead of just building it in the Unreal Engine. I think the big reason for that as well is when you're building it in Blender, the amount of times you won't really get the feel for scale, or in Blender, Maya, 3ds Max, if you're just making one asset at a time, then importing it into Unreal Engine, because sometimes you'll jump back and go, oh no, that wasn't quite right, let's change the scale. Where if you build the scene like I'm doing now, I will build it, then when I want to export something, I'll select it, set it to its origin points. Oh, he's origin points laying down, interesting. I would set it probably standing up, like this, and then I'll export it like this, because then I'd come back into the engine and move it. Digital content creator. Oh, okay. I'm terrible with abbreviations. Really bad. I really dislike them, to be fair, but that's a whole different conversation. Okay, so what do you do? I develop writing and setting up dialogue, building level sequences and such. Oh, okay. So why aren't you a 3D artist, man? Like, come on. Slacking on us. Coming here in a 3D art. I've met quite a few people who actually, I met a bunch of producers in my time, well, I was gonna say 28 years of being alive, but in my 7 years after leaving university, and only 2 years of having actually worked in the industry, I've met a handful. I've worked freelance before that. I've met a handful of producers, and man, you get such a few and far between on how helpful they can actually be. And that sounds really rude of me to say, but what I mean is sometimes you'll get a producer, and all they do is very, very, very basic stuff. Let's get wireframe real quick so I can see what I'm doing. And then other times you get a producer and they freaking can program and everything, and they're like, oh no, do it like this, and I'm looking at them like, excuse me? Not saying you have to program, just saying like sometimes you get like super in there producers who do so much work. I know you said you wasn't a producer anyway, but this is just reminding me of a position of a producer. And sometimes you get people who, I mean, in any job you get lazy people. That's not like a secret, right? Like, say with 3D artists, the first 3D artist I worked with she was a nice enough person, but she was just really lazy. And I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to model it right now, right? So I set her a task. I said about this, I think, a few times in chat. Some people say I should do this and talk about like work colleagues and stuff, but I'm not saying her name or anything. So basically, I asked this person if they could set up some flags or banners, I think we called them, but they were flags. They were literally conceptual designs for them, and this person didn't even have to set up the actual materials. All they had to do was set up the basic mesh, and basically I was the one setting up the materials because they had to be dynamic materials, which meant in the engine they had to have the ability to they basically needed to be able to change to whatever logo we wanted, right? And yeah, and I asked her, yeah, can you do this, whatever, and I gave it to her as a task, because I was basically a lead at the time. Gave it to her as a task because it was a task that should have been very, very, very quick, right? And I was like, okay. And because basically I needed to set her another task, but for the time being, because that task wasn't ready, because the concept artist hadn't completed that concept, for the time being, I basically said to her, okay, I'll get her on this task, and she could basically work on this, and that way, when she does this in like a couple hours, the concept's probably done. And then by the time she didn't get back to me till Monday, I gave her this task and I'm done. I gave her this task on a Friday. I want to make this on a Wednesday, sorry. I gave this task on a Wednesday. It would have been about 12 o'clock midday. Flag. Yes, flag. And I gave her this task, and it was 12 o'clock, and I said to her, I didn't tell her how much time she had. She kind of was under review at the time anyway, and it was kind of the intent that I wasn't going to tell her how long she had, because I wanted to review how long it would take her. Some people may say that's a bit of a trap, but again, I wasn't fully doing that, because I thought she would get it done in like an hour or two anyway. So I was more thinking to myself, oh, you know, I can also see how quick she can kind of do a task like this on her own, because she was technically a junior artist. I was like, yeah, so if she takes like 4 or 5 hours, that's fine. She gives you psych at the end of the day. And then she gave it to me on Monday, or Tuesday, sorry. So that means she had from 12 o'clock to 5:30, with an hour break in that, so 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours. Now, 4.5 hours times, well, she then had Thursday, Friday, Monday. My boss specifically told me don't jump on her to see if she's got it done. Wait for her to approach you with it done. Because she was kind of, like I said, she was under review at the time because she had been, there was a lot of speculation that she was being very lazy and just wasn't doing work. And that wasn't me having to review that. My boss was reviewing that, and he basically told me to just let her see what she does. She wasn't told specifically she was being reviewed, but she was told... Actually, was she? I think we told her... Well, my boss told her that, you know, her performance is sort of being investigated right now. Then she had 3 extra days. So Thursday, Friday, Monday. 7.5 hours times 3. That's 22.5 hours. So it's 27 hours. And then I think... I don't remember when on Tuesday she gave it to us. I think it was about 12 o'clock. So we'll say an extra 3 hours on that. So that was 30 hours of development time making flags. Now, admittedly, she had to make 5 of them, right? And one of them was literally the same thing, but a long one. And one of them was like a... One of them was like a hanging one. I made this one object. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little too much into detail for this. I think this is kind of... If you guys want a job in the industry, it's important to know that, especially if you're being reviewed under something, what's going to be investigated. This would take me 30 minutes to all 5. Exactly, right? Right? That's the point I'm trying to make. I can't remember what the other 2 designs were, so let's just make these. So how long is that taking me, right? I'm talking at the same time and explaining. I took a gap in between of explaining to do the calculator. Even then, what, 10 minutes or so to do 3. And again, she did not have to texture. Maybe she had to unwrap them, but boo-hoo, unwrapping something like this is very, very easy. Something like that. Something like this. And then here, you probably just do something like... You could technically, you probably want to cut the ends off to save on that poly count where it intersects with it. This is like minor gaming optimizations, and it also helps with UV wrapping, but you probably want to do something like this. And then you probably want to mark seam like along here, here. Now, I want to add, people thought I was being mean to her because of what I'm about to say. Ooh. Get me on your team. Hey, I mean, you probably don't want to because we've only got 2 artists at the moment, so you'd be swarmed with a lot of extra work. I shouldn't say that. Imagine my boss comes in the stream. My boss has watched my stream in the past, and he's just like, don't tell people not to join the company. Boom. With the... I thought we'd done the unwrap. What's happened here, bruh? Oh, I'm being an idiot. We need 1 marked seam across here. Yeah, again, I didn't even remember... It's just lazy man. I need... What, man? Got made. Oh, man. That's so sad. Was you the person who messaged me somewhere else? There's someone who asked me for a job recently. But unfortunately, my job isn't even looking. But yeah, anyways. So I cannot remember if she was even told she had to do an unwrap. But if she was, there we go. Now, she had how long? What, 30 hours? So she didn't approach me till 30 hours after being set this task. And again, I want to talk about this because I am a lead artist in my company. If someone isn't doing enough work, there's only 2 artists right now. We have had up to 4 in the past, but we bounce up and down a little bit. So when new people do come in, I do have to review them and see how much work they're doing and being able to produce. 30 hours worth of work. Now, I asked her, okay, so I was trying my best not to be... I was going to say vindictive. That's not the word. What does vindictive mean? Vindictive definition. Have you got showing a strong, unreasonable desire for revenge? No, I was not being vindictive. No, I wasn't trying to get revenge. I was trying my best to be calm and to get her to basically tell me her own mistake. Now, if you're working anywhere, you got to be good. If you don't want to work and you want to be lazy, you got to be good at lying. That's something she was not very good at. I've worked retail jobs before. Trust me, if you want to get away with not doing much work, it's better to be better at lying than better at doing an insane amount of work. Not patronizing. No, I didn't want to. That's not even the right word I'm looking for. I was trying to, because I was getting her to reveal her own mistake without saying she'd made a mistake or saying she'd been lazy. I didn't want to say, okay, this person's name. Let's call her Elizabeth. Beth. Okay, Beth. So I give you 30 hours worth of work. This stuff looks like it should have only taken you 4 hours. Where's that 26 hours gone? I didn't say that. I did not say that. Instead, what I did was I said, okay, Beth, how long did the first flag take you to do? And she said, oh, the first flag took 5 hours. But after I got my bearings for it, I did the other flags a bit quicker. Oh, how long did it take you to the other flags? Oh, they took me 2 hours each. I was like, okay, so there's 4 flags after the first one. So 8 flags plus 5 flags. With the times you just gave me, that's 13 hours. Is that right? Yeah. So then I said to her, okay, so since I set you this task, it's been 30 hours worth of work time. So if this only took you 13 hours to do, and you sure it took you 13 hours? Yeah. If it only took you 13 hours to do, there's 17 hours left over since I set you the task. So what other work has been done during that 17 hours? Have you got anything to show for those 17 hours? I want to also clarify, this is a one-to-one conversation. I think I was typing. Was I typing this to her? I can't remember if I was typing it to her or on a one-to-one call. I wasn't berating her in front of other people. I was asking her this question because I wanted to see how well she could lie anyway. But 2, I wanted to know where these 17 hours had gone. Because at the end of the day, I'm sitting here as the only other artist in the company, because it was only me and this person at the time, like working my butt off, getting entire environments done in the time frame she could only make 5 flags, or banners, I think we called them. I said, what's happened to these 17 hours? And you know what she replied with? This is me going back to, I like how this all came from Get a Gaming Job, because me talking about there are some producers who are amazing and will literally be programmers and also producers, but I've worked with some producers who basically just seem to do nothing all day. And they complain that they need a pay rise, which is very weird. And as I was saying, it's in every role. Every role you'll get more productive people, and every role you get more lazy people. And it's a part of management to basically be able to determine who's doing more work, who's doing less work, who deserves pay rises, or who deserves to unfortunately get made redundant or fired, depending on your contractual situation. Because I've not directly had to fire anyone in my company, but I have had to encourage one person being fired from my company. And I can, if you guys want to hear it, I could go over that one. That one's really easy to explain. The person was just not very good, but I can go over a little bit more. So anyways, and Beth, we're going to call her Beth, like I said, when I said to her, so there's 17 hours that are basically unaccounted for, where have those hours gone? What work was done during those hours? She replied, I create a new art piece on my portfolio. If I give my portfolio, you can access my resume on LinkedIn. Yeah, go for it, man. And yeah, and she replied back with, what was it? You got a problem? I want to clarify, I was in a position of being her boss at the time. I wasn't technically a lead artist, but I was acting lead artist. The person who was working under me, who I was supposed to be trying to teach, who never wanted me to teach her anything, I'd offered her to teach her. I'd even offered to teach her outside of work. Because if you ever need anything, even if it's outside of work hours, just contact me. I would teach you how to do it. She never accepted my help. She never wanted help from me. I think I don't know why she didn't. Maybe because she thought she was better than me, and she thought it was unfair that someone was in a position higher than her when that person was better. Maybe she thought there was some nepotism. Nepotism is the wrong word if I'm not related to the boss, right? Does nepotism have to... Wait, is nepotism even the right word? Nepotism. Yeah. Oh, it can be friends. So nepotism is showing favoritism in the corporate ladder, it shows here, but in the corporate towards friends and family. So someone doesn't have to put the hard work in. So maybe she thought that was the reason. Maybe she thought I was buddy with boss. I don't know. Oh, you can't post links in the chat. That's a good point. You can on Twitch. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll go in there in a minute. Yeah, so as I was saying, I was in a acting lead position. She said, have you got a problem? I didn't know how to respond. Now, I wish I had the confidence she had. I would have never said that to someone higher than me, even in the worst jobs I've worked. I have spoken back in very, very rare occasions in jobs where someone's in a high position, but they were in very good... there was very good reasons to them. Like, I was told off for not forcing to check someone's bag who was leaving the store and not going after him when he left the store when I worked at Lidl's. And I literally said to this manager, that I did call him an idiot. I think I was very close to calling him an idiot. But I basically said to him, like, so you want me to be fired? Because it literally says in our health and safety that if somebody leaves the store, we are not allowed to follow them. We cannot interact or touch a customer because if I get hurt in the process of touching them, the company is not liable. That was written in my contract. I will be fired for doing something against my contract. So, no, I won't say his name. Let's call him Dave. No, Dave, I do not feel responsible for letting this person leave the store with stolen goods for our company. We need a security guard for that, not one of the employees sitting on one of the tills. That really infuriated me. For trying to tell me off for basically not trying to stop a thief is ridiculous. That is not what I'm paid for. Let's go see this finished stuff. Finished pieces. Oh, I have seen your work. Where did I see your work before? Do you follow me? Or do I follow you? I have seen your work before. I'm pretty sure. Ages ago. Was you the person who talked about, Wait, did you work for Star Citizen? Because you were talking about weighted normals. You're going to say, no, that's not me. Oh, yeah, your stuff looks really good. I saw this recently. When was this posted? Yeah, last week. I saw this recently, which is really, really good. I don't know how much of it you've made. Let's have a look. So, was this all made by hand? Because, yeah, I remember seeing this as well. I'm a huge fan of Cloud Imperial Games. Oh, you're a huge fan. Oh, so did you not? You made it all. That's awesome, man. Yeah, abandoned version. The fact that you just skipped from one to the other. This is like a whole new thing. I mean, this is awesome. What was it rendered in? There's Blender or Maya, either or. Use Blender and Maya. Interesting. So it's not a video game scene, basically. Which is not a bad thing. I think one thing I like to look for when my boss asks me about when we're hiring someone, which we're not at the moment, but when we are, I like to see everything in the games engine because, like my teachers used to say, like this one's Unreal Engine, like really, really good. This looks awesome, to be fair. Like I say, is I want to see how it looks in the games engine because you can have something look way better in a whole baked setting, because lighting in general in a baked setting is always going to look better than in a video game setting. If you can make it look really good in video game settings, then you've done your job. I mean, this stuff looks awesome. This is better than my stuff. I find it very hard to comment on somebody's work when their work's better than mine. I have a hard time building a more natural looking scene more than anything. And you've got so many different workflows here, right? You've got like, this is a modular kit scene, which I'm actually making at the moment in my company. I'm not at this stage yet where I'm putting like pieces together, but yeah, you've got like modular kits, trim sheets, atlases. I assume it's an atlas. Oh, trim sheet. Trim sheet, atlas. What's the difference between trim sheet and atlas? I guess this part is trim sheet. Yeah, tileable materials. Is this also Unreal Engine? Yes. Yeah, decal sheet. You've got like a computer. I like how much you jump as well. You go from like this, which is still a good asset. It's not bad, but it's obviously very basic. The model is relatively basic, nothing too fancy. Oh, you got other stuff in it too. Like, that's really cool as well. But again, the most impressive things about these two anyway is the texturing. Then you go to like this, which is already a bit more complex, a little bit more detailed, a bit more. You've got all of these buttons and everything. You got a bit more texture work in it. I'm terrible at doing post-it notes. I don't know why. Yeah, Evie's even got a 3D preview. I want to get really close. So, you know what? I like seeing blurry textures when I get close because it means you've not used an insane texture resolution. Admittedly, I don't think... Was that Sketchfab? I don't think Sketchfab allows it, like, reduces the quality anyway. But so many people will be like, look, Steve, look at this thingy. I'm like, oh, what's text resolution? They're like 1K, and I zoom in, and freaking, it's like the crispest numbers. And I'm like, have you used a decal sheet or something? No, it's all baked in. And it's like the most crisp numbers I've ever seen. I'm like, there is no way this is 1K. There's no way this is even 2K. This is like 8K. And that's fine, because a big part of portfolio pieces is it's not as like, oh my god, we have to have everything reduced to work for the games engine, because you're just trying to show off your work. But when you approach me and tell me, oh, review my work, and then lie to me and say it's a 1K texture, I'm like, at least be honest. Because if you tell me it's 1K and it is actually 1K and it looks really detailed, I'm like, man, how did you do that? That's cool. You made it look really good. And then you'll jump to like a freaking car, the Mandalorian, the oh god, what's this? Oh, you got it there, DeLorean. That's why it sounded familiar. Yeah. Again, Unreal Engine. You've either got Marty's skateboard or hoverboard. Super cool. And then you just jump to straight environments. Like your portfolio shows everything that you need. Like if the fact that if you're out of work, I find it very unfair if you're out of work for very long. 1K, but textile density is just a myth to them. Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've got everything. You've got a showing that you can make. The only thing you've literally not got. I mean, let me go into here. The only thing you've literally not got, and you've kind of got it here anyway, is specific specific stylized asset creation. That is it. You've even got materials, and you've even got a stylized scene, so you can clearly make stylized assets. But you've literally got everything here, man. So if you, I'll be. How long have you been out of work for? Because your stuff's really good. Like if you're out of work for long, it's just not. You're in the United Kingdom. It's just not fair. Because, like, your work looks like that, right? Let's compare it to mine, which mine's significantly worse. Oh, a big part of my work is I'm too... Oh, wrong account. I'm a lot more into quantity over quality, because as an environment artist, that's kind of like you need to be a bit more of. But your stuff is both, because you've made entire environments. And they both are amazing. Oh, only 2 weeks. Okay, if you're out of work for longer than 2 months, I'll be very surprised. Is that a message? Hold on a minute. Okay. Okay, let's making sure no one's actually posted anything to me. So, if you look at my work, I'm just like way worse at making a scene, right? Like we've got like singular assets, and I've got a lot of random stuff because again, I'm more into quantity over quality, because I want people to see the vast different things I'm able to make, right? And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. I don't think it would have mattered what I did on my portfolio. I just seem to not find work anyway. As I've said to people before, it took me 5 years after university to find an art job, and I've never had any professional training from a higher up ever, so it's very hard to improve in the way I want to without having somebody who's significantly better than me pushing me to get there or assisting me to get there. But it's like we look at... so I got some detailed assets. Do I not have a 3D preview of this one? That's a shame. But like we look at like my environments and they just don't come together as well as your environments. Like these ones. Like they look okay, but I don't have like a fancy background and stuff like this. I'm just not very like, I don't even have a sky hair. It's not very good. I've never been good at presenting as much as I've been good at making, right? Like, it's like when I used to do art in school and we used to make art folders, and my teacher was always like, you got to make your art folder look pretty. I was like, but the work's in there. Why have I got to make the folder look pretty? And they were obsessed, like, no, or she was obsessed, like, no, you got to present the work as much as you've got to make it. And I was like, ah. And in video games, you do have to do that. So, I mean, it makes sense. In my art book, I never understood it. But yeah, like, we compare both our works. Your work's way better than mine, so... If you can't find work, I'll be very surprised. Anyways. Oh, I got a chopping board. With a very low texture. You know what? What should have been on here is a tiny texture. No, I love yours, mate. That's very, very nice of you. So when I'm like actually baiting for compliments, I'm like, yeah, I know, mine's pretty good. Baited. No, I don't actually think my stuff looks very good. I don't think my stuff looks bad. I want to clarify this. People always throw compliments at me. They're like, no, Steve, your stuff's amazing. Your stuff's amazing. I don't think my stuff's bad. I just don't think it's anything phenomenal is the big thing here. What is brackets? Is that the one I'm looking for? Shelf brackets. That's what I'm looking for. So I want like these small brackets, like really small ones because it's inside a cabinet. This might be a bit overkill, but it is a large asset in the scene, so I'm not too against having something like brackets because you might fly into it and stuff and see things. Check out mine. I only have 3 posts and I haven't posted anything since. Oh my god, let's have a look. Have you posted it? Post it in if you get onto the Discord or you get onto Twitch, you can't post links on YouTube. So either post it on Twitch or post it on finished pieces or something in my server. Oh, I'm gonna wave to you, Joe. There you go. A little bit of talking on my server. I was just quickly reading it. I'm glad you guys are here to talk to me today. I have no motivation today. As you can probably tell by the lack of 3D I've been doing. I just feel... partly just because I feel like garbage, but on top of that, I just don't feel motivated. And as we all know, when you don't feel motivated, it's very difficult to get work done. We're just going to do a square bracket, actually. One that just looks... it's kind of lazy of me, but one that looks like this, and then it's just got... do I make it... I could pull it. Oh, so why can I thingy? Playing Demon Souls on stream yesterday, and my god, the boss we were trying to kill is not fun. Yeah, I could always just do something like that as the bracket. Not fun at all. I was looking online, people were talking about it, and they were also complaining about it. I was like, okay, it's not just me. Honestly, my experience with Demon Souls so far, I've played all of the Souls games except I will show you guys this as well for anyone who's like he's bad at optimization. You kind of optimize like anything you make. Here it is. Oh, you moved over. I'll click on it just a second. Yeah, I was playing Demon Souls, and compared to every other Souls game or every other FromSoft game, I just feel like the bosses feel. Where's the laziness? I have a feel you never are. Also, hi Steve. I'm super lazy, Pixel Shooter. You know what? I didn't even want to stream today. I just wanted to lay in bed, play Demon Souls, man. I was just like, oh, I'm not feeling the motivation today. But you know, I'm trying to push through it. I'll click on the click the assistant in a second. So yeah, in Demon Souls, what I'm not liking about it is I think the boss design just I don't know if it feels lazy per se. Yeah, so if you want to optimize that, you could do like something like this, where now I've taken away some of the poly count, not drastically. Oh, same here. Can't do it here because it'll change the shape, but yeah. Oh, you go same here. How did that even get made at the back? You can kind of optimize the shape and take away some of the poly count. In this example, it's a bit overkill because I probably only saved like, what, 4 tries there or something? Nothing like drastic, but... Holy SHG, no shot, you're live. I was just checking out your 2-minute decal video on YouTube. Decal video. Let's have a look. Steve's Tutorials. That's me. Decals. Oh, wait, the one that's in Joey's apartment. Oh, that didn't work at all. Decal? Oh, no, there it is. Adding grime dirt using decals. Is it this one? Decals are really good. For those of you who've not used decals very much, use your decals in sort of your large stage usually of development. You'll have like... I see videos of it all the time, especially the ones that are like 10 seconds long and that show you the step by step. And sometimes the scene can transform so drastically from like if they've got, let's say, 10 pictures from like block out to final stage, that 9th or 10th stage and all they're adding is decals at the end, it can change the quality of the scene drastically. Decals are so important. It just shows how to quickly set them up and place them in this video. You gotta be realistic with their places, though. It was easy to follow, but I guess my version is old, so it didn't work. Oh, really? This is an old version, though. Look, 6 years ago. I'd be very surprised if you got a 6. If you watch this video, I'll be very surprised if your Unreal Engine is 6 years old. Oh, it was this video, actually. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Substance. So, a year ago. You don't have to hold Alt anymore, I'm pretty sure. You just have to drag it in, but you got to make sure you... I wonder what you did wrong. Or what? Maybe something was wrong with the texture. Just set in Twitch chat. Yeah, I know. I'm going over to there now. I don't know if you said that a while ago, to be fair. Oh, I got notifications. Heck yeah. You know what? I like to be really on top of my notifications. Because obviously being a... Oh, thanks 6 clicks for the comment on my Engon video. I want to make more videos like that, but I need ideas. Because I think it's just silly and it's just funnily edited. For those of you who've not seen this video, it's only 3 minutes long. If you could give it a look, it's just a funny little video talking about Engons and their benefits and why an Engon is something that needs to be... That's completely fine to use, but why they could cause issues in your software. All right, let's check out this art station. So your last post... Wait, are you fine with me showing it? I should be well, because you posted it. Your last post you said was 3 years ago. It should be this one. So this looks really good. I mean, this looks awesome. It's just like Factoroid or something. It's a lot of modularity, which is also really good. Is the game up to about Factoroid? Factoroid is the 2D one, right? Oh, game. Okay, that's not the game I'm thinking of. What? Yeah, see, that's Factory. What am I thinking of? It's like the industry building one. It's really cool. Link it. I'm a watch. Okay, 1 second. Ignore my recommended. Wait, that's that's my stream. I just linked my stream. I think it's literally my most current video. Yeah, back to the art station. Yeah, I mean, this is really, really good. It's really, really hard to judge somebody on just blockout stages. I said this before. This is Unity, right? Oh, no, this is Unreal. Oh, it's because of the tiling sort of grid map you got. Oh, I could have guessed it from the volumetric sky clouds, though. Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. One of the worst things I'm at is freaking level design. So, I mean, you've got the level design, and this looks great. I need a level designer to do my art, usually. I fought with Spainter the other day. Oh, right. Drove myself crazy trying to figure out why getting curvature from a normal map wasn't working. They made a freaking setting for it. Oh, really? Oh, that's annoying. So they changed something and they make it clear. Oh, look, you got a little GIF as well. I mean, this is phenomenal. Like, this is so cool. This must take you ages. If it didn't, I'd be very surprised. There's no shame if things taking you a while. I hate when people say that. When people are like, oh, it only took me 5 days. I look at it, I'm like, if this took you 5 days, you are an absolute legend. Not in this scenario, but like someone will send me something that's like an entire scene. I'm like, it's fine to tell me the truth of how long it takes you. You should feel thrilled with how long it takes you. Like my work, admittedly I only spend like brief moments on the weekend doing everything I do, but technically from start to finish this took me 2 months. Sure, if I sat there and someone gave me 10 hours and said get this done, I could get this done in 10 hours, maybe less, but I talk on my streams, I have a good time. So if someone asked me how long this takes, I said, well, it took me 10 hours, 10 hours, it took me 2 months. I was only off and on it very briefly in those times, but that's how long it did take me. But then I could look at my Simpsons scene and say this took me 3 days, and it did. This took me 3 days because it was for NVIDIA and they gave me a 3-day deadline to make 2 environments. I was able to convince them that basically, that's impossible. Can I make one? They said yes. Still paid me the same amount of money, and I was able to make one environment in 3 days. It took a couple of weeks of rework. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's lovely. Was my video lovely, or the asset I made lovely? Or am I lovely? Because that's nice. Is it the hair? The messy, grey, half black, half grey hair. I've been going grey since I was like 16. My mom keeps pointing it out to me. And she's like, oh, whoa, that's one of my links to that. It's the cat ears. Ah, you know what? There's got to be a good one on here. Headset cat ear attachment. Megapixel has been asking for cat ears on my headset for like 3 years now. Originally, it's because I didn't have the money to really be thrown away on like £5 cat ears. But today's the day. I have money now. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I won't tell you how much money I've got, but it's not a lot. I still literally live at home with my parents. But it's enough to buy some cat ears. I'm just looking. I'm scouting out for cat ears. Oh, by the way, let's look at your other assets. So your other assets as well were basically fine because it was just materials. I'm not much of a guy who likes questioning materials. My problem with... Oh, see, that's really cool. You've got the ability to... I assume that's... is that off vertex painting? Mum set Photoshop. Oh, it's not. That's just the texture. My problem with judging materials is there's so many materials online for free, and you could... If you've made... Stylized materials, I'll give you extra credit for, rather than... So if you've got an A already, you know, or an A+, stylized materials is extra credit. Because when it comes to this kind of stuff, if I wanted a really good texture of a brick wall, I could go outside and take a picture of it with my camera, and nothing's going to be able to beat a real-life image of a brick wall, and then I'll generate normal maps and information for it. If I had a really fancy 3D camera, it might even do that for me. But I'll generate all the information after taking a real-life image, and then move on for that. Whereas... I don't know, it's 7 years ago, oh my god. Whereas, when it comes to... stylized, you can't just go out and take a picture of a stylized texture. You have to make it, and that's why I think stylized, when it comes to texturing, not necessarily modeling, but when it comes to texturing, if you could get a really nice stylized texture mesh, I'm going to show a little bit more of being impressed, because I feel like because I've made at least 2 kind of realistic, decently looking realistic things, so like this and this, I think my other ones are okay. Like, I think the car came out pretty good. I think the shotgun's fine. Nothing too fancy. I think the rowboat's fine. It's a very simple mesh. It's just got some high detailed texture on it. The normals are probably a little too strong. At least with the paint work, it won't come out that strong on paint, but it might be fine on the boat. And I've got obviously dampness, some dirt in there. I think that's some bird poo right there and there. And the Magnum's fine. But I think these 2 are fine. Like, oh, good. So I feel like I'm at least... Because I really hate judging somebody's work by what I'm able to do. If I can't achieve somebody's level of work, I find it really hard to judge their work for it. But if I'm able to achieve their level of work, and I feel like when it comes to realism, I've proven to myself anyway that I can, if I put the time in, make something realistic. So I feel like I am able to judge someone's work on realism. Whereas when I look at my stylized stuff, I've got okay stylized things. Like this, and maybe the lantern. I've got obviously some environments too, and they look pretty good, but they don't look phenomenal like some stuff. You working on Rough and Tumble? Yeah. How do you know? How do you know about that game? Oh, did you check my name out? Or are you like the one person who's wishlisted it? Oh, anyways, cat is. So, are these good enough? Megapixel. Ooh. What do you think to these? I don't know how well they'll be able to attach. Oh my god. Why is there no adult men wearing them? I feel like this is unfair. Will they work on it? Because if I get black, it matches it. Wait, I just realized. Let's go. Does Shell come with it? Oh, right. It says it on the website. Yeah. I would. Yeah, I'm working on now. I unfortunately can't show you guys anything about it or even tell you anything about it, because it's all under NDA. So the information you can access yourself. You can find out a little bit. If you actually go to the Twitter page and stuff, you might be able to see some of the 3D art environments I worked on for one or two of the games. But like, my company is very, very against sharing any work or even attaching my name to anything. Obviously, if they made a credit screen and when it's released, they have to legally anyway. But they don't like the idea of sharing anything because they don't want their employees to be doxed and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I've said to them before, I'm like, I'm a 3D artist. Chanty's a Little Caesars corn cob crust pizza. Okay, let me... Where do we want Little Caesars? Do I even have a Little Caesars near me? Little Caesars... order online. Cool, let's go. Alright, what we got? Deliver. Do they deliver to... What's chat's address? Twitch chat. Is there like a Twitch road? Is there a Twitch? Oh, one of my screens turned off. There you go. Okay, I'll deliver my address. Oh, I can't really show my address as bad. Well, not specifically. Ah. Wait, is there not a Little Caesars in England? Oh, I can look at the pizzas anyway. What we got? What did you want? You wanted a Little Caesars corn cob crust pizza. Oh, what? Hi, guest. Hello. I don't want to log in. Yeah, it looks in dollars. So, do we not have them in England? Look up their YouTube. It's real. Wait, they're what? I'll change it to EN. Is it really? Do we actually have them here? I've never ordered from Little Caesars. I think I used to see them as a kid. Little Caesars online England or UK.com. Ah, pounds. I see. Okay. So we want menu. Corn cob crust. I've never heard of that in my life. Wait. Okay, you don't care about what's on the pizza. £5. I mean, that's good. Why is it only £5 for a pizza? Hold on a minute. I want some pizza now. I made some sushi earlier, but now I want pizza. What the heck? Whoa. I don't know. How do I click on anything? Menu. They're not clickable. They're just images. Oh my god, it's like, what's my exact address? Interesting. Anyways, back to some serious stuff. Oh wait, what have you posted? What? Choosing. Oh yeah. Wait, that's not a cross. That's just. Hold on a minute. I feel scammed. They've just put corn there. What are they putting on it? What was that white stuff? Excuse me? That was butter? Oh, man. Liquefied butter. Oh. I'm not that into butter. Liquid butter. I'm not... I'm good. Jesus. I feel like it's a much more American thing to be like super into butter. Maybe I'm wrong. Anytime I see a cooking video, they're like, yeah, now throw all that butter in. But anytime it's like an English cooking video or a UK, they're like, oh, you know, now put a little knob of butter in there. I'm just like, oh yeah, that looks more like it. Do you guys have a tanker? Tankard? Tankard. It's the at the end. God, should I model this? That's crazy detailed. I can feel my blood clotting just looking at it, right? I think Americans are just built different, man. They just got like those... They just got superhuman bodies. They can consume anything. I was talking about sugar the other day. So for those of you who don't know, or bread the other day. So does UK bread have sugar? So UK bread is like... A lot of our bread doesn't even have sugar in it. It has glucose in it from... I think it's from the flour, has natural glucose. While it's certainly possible to find bread with high sugar content, in general, it contains no added sugar. Unlike bread in the USA, even where it has added such as UK bread sugar. Oh, break. During the bread making process, some of the starch in the wheat flour is broken down into simple sugars. Yeah, so it comes through the starch, not the glucose, starch in flour. That gives the sweetness to our bread, which isn't a lot of sweetness. For anybody who's, from what I've been told anyway, I've never tasted bread outside the UK, but from what I've been told, everyone who's moved to the UK and tasted our bread, they always say our bread is so much more, so much less sweet than any bread they've tasted anywhere else, because we just don't have bread in our sugar. You can even look at a loaf of bread, usually, and it will show no sugar in it. We're still working on this cabinet, I think. We're kind of getting distracted a lot. There they are. So, what are you guys in chat? What are you, 11CS103? Are you you an artist or a programmer? Or usually I get programmers in chat recently, weirdly enough. The reason that's weird is because, I mean, I'm not a programmer. So when I see a programmer pop into chat, I'm like, wow, that's strange. I find certain programmers really, really interesting, probably for the wrong reasons. And I'll tell you why. So programmers, some programmers I've worked with seem very obsessed with making everything work on a programming front. Now, I won't go over something else I've experienced with programmers. I'll mention it a little bit, actually. A lot of programmers I seem to mistake... Not complexity, mistake, like, well-working code that implements an idea as fun. Just because something works and it's a lot of processes working together. Now, this isn't not all programmers. This is literally just the ones I've met. Just because something works doesn't mean it's fun. That should be a given. Anyways, the other thing about some programmers I've met is they seem to really like doing everything the programming way. And what I mean when I say that is, it was like recently, even just in my company, recently, I was talking to a programmer, and he was wanting to make, you know what, I'm going to show you what he wanted to make. Where's Unreal? So, there's two ways an artist, no, actually, no, there's one way a technical artist will look at doing this. There's one way a more practical, more artist will do something that I'm about to show you. So, he wanted basically a linear gradient on his material, right? So we're just gonna, oh Jesus, move. I own and work on a game called North End Tower Defense. Oh man, that sounds awesome. I freaking love tower defense games. I haven't played a good tower defense game in so long. Probably Bloons Tower Defense 6, but they were my absolute jam growing up, man. So here, the fact that you've just said that, memories flooding back of all the good experiences playing Flash games that were tower defense games. Alright, so I'm going to set up two ways to make a linear gradient. Okay, I've got this set up here, so I won't show that yet. Now we're going to come into here. For those of you who've not seen this as well, it's a nice little joke in the scene. I always worry about low poly stuff. Look at that. You would never need it any more higher poly because you're going to view it from like this distance. But obviously, when you get close, you can start seeing the low quality. What I should have done here is I should have... So this is another reason why sometimes it's better to have things as separate meshes. And I might import these thumbtacks or whatever they're called separate and add them to a decal. Not a decal. Add them to a foliage channel and I could paint some falling off the board and just have them on the side. The more stuff you can have scattered in the scene, the more real it's going to feel. It's like in my room right now, there's so much crap laying around. Even behind me, like, you just accumulate a lot of crap. Anyways, so linear gradient. So he wanted to do a linear gradient. It was a program. And I showed him that this is how I would do it. So, this is more of a technical artist. Maybe not technical artist, because a technical artist is supposedly a programmer. But as someone who's a shader artist, I would literally come in here, linear gradient. Oh, bugger. They've changed one of the... you got to write mult to get multiply now. You can hold it at M and left click as well. And boom, I will have... Oh, so let's say we want it up and down. I will have a gradient. Now, if he said to me, oh, no, Steve, I wanted it so gradients from bottom and top. Oh, wait. Maths. That makes this. That makes this. Oh, wait. Oh. I'm multiplying it by 0. I was going to say, why is it doing that? That's not what it's supposed to look like. There you go. When you multiply together, you'll get this. Technically, this value in the middle is not a perfect 1, I think. Wait, multiply that be a 1 here. And that would be a 1 here. So in the middle will be more of a 0.5, which means we're multiplying 0.5 by 0.5 in the middle. So mathematically, we'll just want to times that by 2. Okay, scrap this one. And you might end up with something looking a little bit like this. And boom, we've got a linear gradient goes top to bottom. Pretty simple stuff. You could actually take this now and say, oh, actually, Steve, I want the gradient to be 2 different colors and not black and white. You can just take this into here. Make this one green. That is more of a bluey green, but it's fine. Is that turquoise? And make this one red. I don't want to get a preview of that. One color. That looks like it's being proper blasted. To not exceed the value of 1, which it should have been with the maths I just did, but maybe I'm wrong. Why is that being blasted so much? I mean, it is doing it. It's just being proper blasted. Let's turn that to 1. Am I being dumb here? The black? Oh, I guess there's not much black, so basically it's like taking over the whole thing. That's probably why. So yeah, there is red there. It just seems very, very faint. I wonder if we could blast it. Not really. Anyways, yeah, and it's to say that's basically how you do that process, right? If I wanted to replicate, and another way to do it, if you're like an artist, and someone told you, oh, Steve, I want to have a gradient. Can you get me a gradient working the materials? And I didn't really know anything about materials. I could say, oh, yeah, I could do that. Why is the color brown on there? Oh, it's not. Okay, I would just grab this, go boom, and I've got a gradient. If I wanted to obviously change where the gradient is, we want that to be more white. Boom. And I could always... What happens if I duplicate this layer and rotate it around? And set it to like a multiply. Yeah, you could do something like that. You could then merge together. I don't often go in Photoshop these days. Just want to adjustments. Yeah, you probably do it with levels, right? And you could then just bump up or do this to get those levels to be as that's the one value, and boom. It's looking very, very grainy. I guess we could just do a blur. So you soften that a little bit. And that's how I'd send that gradient over if I was just like an artist and I didn't know how to do materials. When I came back like 2 days later and it's like, Steve, look at this. He'd done it all through programming. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, I don't know if he'd done it the whole 2 days. I'm going to hope it didn't take him 2 days to do that when it's readily available to just use a linear gradient. Technically, hard programming it is probably more efficient than using node system, but it's like saying, I don't know, 10 grams of sugar is going to be lighter than 15 grams of sugar. Yeah, but they're both going to be light because 15 grams is nothing. You know what I mean? Like, the performance hit is going to be so minor in difference that it's just worth doing it the easier way. And I was just like, yeah, good job, man. Like, I mean, it was cool that he did it all through programming. It was just such a, like, unnecessary thing, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of like, huh. Okay, when he showed it to me. Got like a peeled skin on my finger. Yeah, anyways, so I find programmers so intriguing because the amount of programmers I've met who do something like that. And even with small things, even like some of the best programmers I know will come out with a way more complex way of doing something. And I've sometimes just gone, why don't we just do it like this? And I've gone, oh yeah, oh, I forgot about that. I'm like, and it's not because I'm being smarter than them, not at all. They're the ones being smart. I'm being the dumb one who's basically recommending the really simplistic way of doing it. I just find it super interesting that, the kind of like different ways there are to having solutions to things. And sometimes the simple way is the best way, even though it seems like the simple way. Because obviously simple tends to sound like it's a bad way of doing something, but in actuality, it could be the way that saves like a bunch of time and just a lot of effort. I'm actually, I'm going to do this. Let's turn off the bevel for now. Or hide it at the very least. Cool. I'm going to separate the top out as a separate piece and pull this into it. And make the top slightly bigger at the back and at the sides. There you go, so that's nice and separate. A couple of reasons I want to do that. One reason is just because it's going to make the UV mapping for like a million times easier. So we just do this unmarked scene. The top is now unwrapped. He says, what is this? What? Am I crazy? That should have been unwrapped fine. No? Ah, that's why. There you go. Should unwrap like this. That's what I thought it was going to look like. What series do you watch or recommend on Netflix or anywhere else? Jesus, are you an anime watcher? Because I've not watched anything but anime for like the last year. No, I'm not really a weeb, but I kind of watch everything. And the only thing that's been tickling my fancy on what to watch, except from Marvel shows, has been anime. I find my interest in anime very strange because I feel like I fall in a box of people who don't watch anime probably think I'm a huge weeb, but people who watch anime probably go, "Wow, you're not a weeb. You don't know enough about anime. You watch dub instead of sub." And I'm like, "Oh, but I thought that anime was still cool." I'm like, and they're like, "No, your opinion's bad because you watched it not in the way we wanted you to." Okay. I've done that, and that's going to break where our shelves actually are. So if we resolve that real fast. It feels like the interior just needed to be like that, right? Like it just made the most sense. If we grab our edges here, grab it like this, grab it like it's hot. Can I, thank you, I was trying to deselect. Deselect, is that right? Unselect? I could scale. The problem with scaling, for those of you who are not aware, it actually works in this case because I've got things beveled. But if you had something beveled, I'll actually show you this because it's kind of important. So, if you've got something beveled, if I was like, actually, I want this to be longer, you could grab one edge like this to do that, or you could grab the whole thing and scale it. Where's my origin point? Jesus. Oh, it's because I said everything. Or you scale like that. The problem with scaling it like that is look at what happens to our bevels. There you got to pull these back to resolve them. So the easiest way to do it is to grab, if you don't want to mess up bevels, to grab it and pull it. But in the case we got over there, see, you can actually see the bevels on it. The bevel's already on it, which means I can scale it and won't have any of those problems because the bevels will still, they won't be stretched because they're applying afterwards. If you want a series and you've seen Endgame, I'd say watch Loki. And that was really fun. What series have I watched that are live action? I've watched a bunch of movies. Well, I say a bunch. I've watched a handful of movies. I've played a bunch of games. My interest for TV shows has been very lacking. I read Walking Dead. I didn't even watch it. I read it. And Steve saying he read something is you get like can you see it in the camera? You can't. Why is my camera so much smaller all of a sudden? Got hiccups. Webcam. My room's a mess. I probably shouldn't show you all this, but go to there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna order this cat is. Look, I got a bookshelf behind me. I've been reading for like the last 6 months or so. I've been reading. I'm not illiterate. I mean, they've got pictures in it, so it makes it easier. So I don't know why it said so like that. He was like, "You read manga?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you read?" And I told him. And then I think someone else mentioned a book. I was like, "Nah, I don't read books. Too many words." And he was like, "Yeah, same." I was like, "Yeah, boy." This. That'll work, right? Am I crazy? Yeah. I mean, I could do this. But, yeah, I was going to say, it's just going to make a long, man. It's going to make long ones that aren't going to look very good. It's like they're changing scale. It doesn't like it. I mean, I could do this. Have it like that. But that's such a waste of space. Like me. Why was I take the outside ones and clear? See, I'm going to keep the interior ones. Why am I not thinking of a better way to do this? Wait, what did I do? If I don't feel whole, it does what? I mean, what I should kind of do is probably apply... Can you apply bevel afterwards and you won't get any bad results? No, see, that's the problem, is it does that. It should be fine, though. I'm going to keep it without the bevel. Why are these doors annoying me? You know what I'm going to do? Because the way they're going to be textured is there's going to be seams in the corners anyway. So what we're actually going to do is force the seams. And that will give us a better unwrap anyway. There you go. Okay, that looks way worse. What happened, man? What happened? You're just this shape. Oh. Right, I still need the in-between thingy. In-between seam. There you go. That looks a bit better. Oh my god, what's that? Oh, it's just where I selected. Oh, I watched John Wick yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Really, really good. If you guys haven't watched John Wick... Oh, if you want to watch a movie series, watch John Wick. John Wick is a phenomenal series. It's hard to put it down. Like, everything about John Wick is just so good. Because it does exactly what it's supposed to do as an action movie. I think that's the easiest way to put it. It does its job through and through. It's an action movie. That's what it's supposed to be. The story is very acceptable. It's not like a groundbreaking story that's going to blow your mind and you're going to go, wow, I've never seen... Hello, Funky Pants. Wow, he's not been here for a while. It's not a story that you're going to sit here and go, wow, I've never seen a story as good as John Wick. But it's just the camera work, the action, the photography, the fight scenes, everything about that movie. It, despite being simple, it does it amazingly. I think it'll get a 9 out of 10 in my books. I've spoken about it yesterday already, but I can't praise it enough, to be honest. I'm actually working on it now. I dropped it. I can't remember the last time you were here. I dropped it for a while and worked on a Canon. I don't remember if you were here or you've been here since then, so I'll show you that real quick. I made this guy. And a big part was... Oh, the guy actually got back to me, by the way. Look. Awesome. Very cool seeing it in 3D. No, every time I make something inspired by someone's work, they never get back to me. But this guy actually got back to me. He makes such cool things. I don't even know what's going on here. Like, yeah, and he made this cannon, and I was like, oh, I want to make it. He's made a couple of props that look in the same style. So that was the original, and then this was my take on it. It's a little bit in different proportions. As you can see, it doesn't bend up as much. But you can kind of see it's quite well aligned. I can't get it higher. But yeah, and mine's a bit more saturated. A little bit of my choice, a little bit because I couldn't quite get it looking like he, so I kind of just winged it a little bit. But you got like the particles coming out that fade into like ash and then fade away. Really, really fun scene. Really fun scene. Asset. Really fun asset. So I've worked on that during the time making this, but we've made progress in here. Yeah, this room still looks pretty good. Depending on when people start following the channel, I added like all these bits here. Added some bits here. Just trying to fill the environment. Because like I said, a big part about making an environment feel good is filling it with just a bunch of crap. You can have clean, empty environments, but it's got to have good materials for a clean and empty environment and good lighting to make it look phenomenal. Whereas if you're making like a lot of environments, it's just all about, as soon as you start cluttering things and getting, oh, let's put some boxes in the corner, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that, let's have this hanging on the wall. As soon as you start getting stuff in there, it starts looking awesome. What about the other rooms? The other rooms, so this one still looks like this. This one still looks like this. So not done. This one I've actually started blocking out. And the kitchen looks like this. With some stuff not finished, some stuff broken. We've got, I thought this was cool, like actually alpha maps on here to give the transparent draining rack. And then you got like the metal tray underneath it that collects all the water. Because obviously the way that these work is when they dry, you put it all away, take that stuff, shake it over the sink, take this out, shake that over. I need to actually have proper water in here. But I've got this in there. I'm going to put some decals in there to make it look like there's dirt. I might make it so the water actually has dirt on it, but we'll see what I make. I think we've got stains, right? I think it stains more towards the bottom anyway. Yeah, it's going pretty good. I want to turn certain things into foliage assets like these pins. I want to actually just paint them on here as foliage. Lots of small things. I think we should stick in this environment, though. I keep wanting to make other things. But because this environment uses Lumen and Lumen uses ray tracing, and I don't have a ray tracing card. In VR, the house interior would look so nice. I think I'd like to do that. I think that'd be super cool if I can actually make it so we can walk around in VR. Even if it's like point and click VR, like you just click in a room. You know, like when you point it and it only, I think Google Streets is like it, right? It only lets you go into certain areas and you look around in that area. Even if it was that simplistic and you couldn't actually walk around, it was just in certain situations you could stand, that would be awesome. So yeah, that'd be a nice push to actually do. I think like the improvement on like the curtains, something you guys probably didn't even notice, because that sounds like I'm insulting you guys. You guys didn't even notice. It's because it's a small detail that people don't tend to pay attention to is stuff like curtains. I still need to get a better railing in. But yeah, like the old curtains sucked with these. Oh, it doesn't quite touch. These are way better. You can actually tell by these curtains, look. These ones are pretty meh looking. Where these ones, just the shape of them alone, they're significantly better. You can use scale to objects evenly and affect only position by scaling. It's near the shading balls in option effect. You can use scale to objects evenly and affect only position by scaling. It's the other shading ball in the options effect position. Really helpful. Oh, wait. Well, I don't even know. I'm confused. Sorry. I'm terrible at getting random advice and then I don't know what it means. Anyways. I'm not going to get this asset done today. We're actually going to stop streaming soon. I feel awful. I said at the start of the stream when no one was here. I feel like garbage. To be fair, I feel like garbage every day. As I've said before, I really need to get seen by a doctor. But they don't want to see me at the moment, so I'm kind of just waiting. I'm on the waiting list. Nothing serious. It's just a perpetual feeling like garbageness. It's mostly to do with my throat. Ugh. Okay. Then I could just do this. That should unwrap. Pretty good. That's basically what I wanted it to look like. Yeah, it looks good. What have we got left now? All these parts. Which is all this. So these are literally just planes, so they're fine. I don't know if I want double glass, but we'll see. We'll see how it works. The problem is, you know what? I find something really funny with game engines. It feels like we've gone past the point where we're not having issues using transparency, but we are. Even in Unreal Engine, if you have something that's transparent behind something else, and it's like behind its transparency, you'll get priority issues. It's crazy how much transparency still causes issues in the engine. And people like my boss, for example, don't realize this. It's not his fault, because unless you're an active developer yourself working in the engine, you won't even realize that there's a lot of finessing when it comes to making transparency objects work around other transparent objects. Just transparent objects in general. The demand is so high on the engine when you've got a bunch of transparent objects. In 5.3 transparency will be better. Is 5.3 the one that's just come out? No. Oh, okay. What did they do in 5.2 that everyone was like raving about? That was amazing. Because I saw everyone like talking about 5.2, but I don't know if it's just because people get excited about every version or there was actually a big improvement. Oh yeah, 5.3 new lumen reflection settings. Will that only work for ray tracing or ray tracing cards? Because I'd love for my reflections to start working again. Yeah, this is a good example. I don't know what he's saying, but basically my reflections look like this. So that's not using hardware, because I can't use hardware. Oh wait, what happened? I just saw it randomly get fixed. Oh, see that? Look, hardware. Hardware, look how good it looks. Oh, you took out Blender, sorry. So this is still using hardware as I just saw him tick on. Yeah, the problem is software Lumen just doesn't work very well. Look up Blender top right. Are you talking about this thingy? What was you saying for me to then? Oh, wait, next to... What are you talking about, this one? You can use scale to objects evenly and affect only position by scaling. And affects only position. Oh. These should be lower poly, but who cares? I mean, I'm severely disappointed in Unreal Engine 5 anyway. Everything I've wanted to... There's so many things I've wanted to do in it, and I've had to look at so many workarounds because they even remove something, or something just doesn't work anymore. And if you look at like what people are typing online, there's a lot of small issues people be having. It's a shame, because I thought it was going to be like the almighty save us, like, from everything. But it doesn't actually seem to be playing out that way. It's a huge improvement to certain fronts. I think a big part is because it favors ray tracing cards. So when it comes to the art side, if you don't have a ray tracing card, a lot of the features are kind of lost in you. Oh, whoops, I should have moved them away. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get all this unwrapped, and then we're going to call it a day. What are you doing? My best. I'm making a cabinet for my Simpsons scene. Oh. I'm unwrapping it at the moment, and then I'm going to texture it, but I'm not texturing it today. As soon as I've unwrapped, we're going to call it a day, and I'm going to run away and go play Demon Souls. I get annoyed at playing Demon Souls. Yeah. So we're basically just making assets for our Simpsons scene. Thank you, thank you. Oh, wait, do you mean the stream or do you mean I'm looking good? Because both are completely acceptable compliments. Megascan assembly. Well, what's that? I do not keep up with like additional things, by the way. Like, I spend too much time working and stuff that unless somebody's told me something exists, I will not know about it. I don't look at patch notes because it's really awkward to keep upgrading as well. If you're in active development, it's very awkward to upgrade to a newer version because sometimes it will just straight up break things, even with programming. Paper Hunt. Hello, Steve. It's Skeen. I used to tune in on your YouTube live streams. Oh, hey, man. How's it going? Skeen. Unfortunately, I don't remember that name. Skeen. How's it going, man? What was the kind of things you used to say? It might spark a memory. Yeah, so we're, or was it just a really long time ago, Paper Hunt? Oh, maybe that's why. When was the last time you saw my stream? I could show you some stuff I'm very lazy today. I'd rather just show people stuff than actually work. You know, like those days where you just have very little motivation? Yeah, this is one of those days. Ages ago, man, but I want to start getting into 3D design again. Nice. I don't know how I read design. You didn't even write design, but nice. Hey man, if you ever need a hand, I have the Discord channel, and if you ever have any questions, you can always private message me, and I'll try to help. I will always try to put in my best effort to help people, as long as I'm free to an extent. Wait, that's not right. I need to get rid of the back. I haven't touched Maya since I graduated from uni. How long ago was that? I'm asking a lot of questions. Can we create a duplicate of our... Can we create a duplicate of our model in Substance Painter? What do you mean? As in... Wait, what? As in you want to create... You want a model in Substance Painter and you want to copy and paste... You want to have like another one of itself sitting next to itself? Last May. So yeah. Wait, what month are we in? March? So 10 months. When was the last time you watched the stream? I'm biting my nails. I'm not biting my nails actually. I'm biting the... I've got like... what if I cut myself on my, when I was cooking? There's like a slight bit of hanging skin. How do I want to UV map this? Problem is if I like UV map this, so this, 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 this. This. Would it be in 2021? Oh, okay, so it's not too long. Oh, that was a long time ago. It's 2 years ago. I've been streaming for 5 years. Let's see what I made in 2021. Did you see my ship get made? I mean, I finished it 8 months ago. So, I worked it for like a year. You did the boat, yeah, ship, yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's literally called boat, so. Well, this was its finished, you know, we'll play it with the music, you go. While I get more water. Oh. My cup's already full of water. I thought I'd already drunk it. There's levels to this, yeah, man. I did not play the music. I do like the piano, though. I definitely subs. I can learn a lot more than I did at uni. I do have a Patreon. This scene was so fun. Like, I hate seeing scenes end. Should I consider this ship, or did you make it from here? No. So there was kind of a concept of any of the exterior. You can actually see it on. I'll let you guys finish watching. You can see it on the art station. I'll show it in a second. There's only concept of the exterior. This is probably the most creative freedom I've ever had on anything ever, which is why I kind of like this scene a lot, because I did look up some assets on making them, like, oh, what does a double bed look like? And then I saw someone's stylized version of it. I was like, oh, I'll make it kind of look like that. But this is probably the most creative freedom I've ever had on anything on my art station. Followed this for a long time. Very well made. Thank you, Azro. It's like that, like throwing all that random crap on the table just to make it feel like there's some story behind what's going on there. This was all made in Blender, yeah. Yeah, this entire scene was Blender. Because there's some scenes on my art station that was Maya. But the original concept was literally just this. So mine already looks different. I went for, like, it's much wider because I wanted to fit more in there. I did a different roof. But the generic, like, look... Wow, mine's so much more blasted with lighting, isn't it? Generic looks there. He got some other images too. I posted here to tell him, like, here you go, look. Oh, wait, replies. Oh, wait, you replied? Was that him? Oh, it was him. Wait, I don't remember him replying. Oh, I just like it. I did not know I had that. I did not remember seeing that. That's cool. Yeah. So I made this since you would all... I finished this, should I say, Paper Heart, since you were gone. Is Blender easier to learn than Maya? Blender is... Like, okay, so, like... Let's quickly throw Setscape on Blender, right? So... I like looking at something on my desk and replicating something on my desk. So let's make this. So, first of all, no matter what software you use, it comes down to different techniques that you apply to all modeling software, right? So every modeling software will have very basic stuff like extrusion, insert edge loops, and beveling, or chamfer. They sometimes have different names. Chamfer, I can never remember how to say it. So then on top of those specific tools that will replicate a lot of software, you'll then have different ways to do things. If we're looking at this, I can separate this out into separate meshes. Now, this is a very common way to make anything, is to separate it out into separate meshes. The reason you do this is because, well, in reality, things are separate meshes. If we look at my cleaning bottle, this whole bottle here might be one mesh. Technically, the stickers on top of it are a separate mesh, but you might just texture that on. But if we unscrew the lid... Oh my god. We have a separate mesh there. We also have this, might be connected to the lid, but its pipe is a separate mesh. This bottom bit that screws here is separate from the top, right? So you can, and then this trigger here is a separate functional piece, mechanical piece, sorry, to the front bit here that twists, right? So you can model this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including your bit here. 6 different models. So I know this is like, you probably know about this paper hunt. You probably know about something like that, but each software will have the same tools. You just need to know where to find them. So like in Blender, if I'm making this shape here, I can separate this out into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different shapes. So when I'm making that, we then can look at its basic shape. I like to use subdivision modeling quite often. What that means is I like to subdivide an object and then basically make our shape from that subdivided object, like usually a cube. This pinch is a bit more here. It's a bit more wider overall, like so. Comes into a more pinch point down here, like that. Bit fatter over here. Something like that. At the bottom, there's technically a bit that goes over here, so we'll subdivide it once. Apply that subdivide. Whoops. Apply that subdivide, and then we're going to grab here, and we're going to... No. We'll grab here, and we'll separate out to a separate mesh, because that is like a separate. It's like a separate plasticky bit. So isolate just that part real quick. So yeah, it's all about learning these shortcuts like I'm using, right? So I'm quickly beveling, right? I'm then hiding, I'm unhiding, I'm coming in, I'm press L to select the whole thing, I'm then hiding that individually, I'm then grabbing that, putting that in, then I'm grabbing this and beveling this. It's just about learning all those shortcuts. So is Blender hard to get those shortcuts down originally? Maybe. I've used Blender for so long, it's hard for me to really say in my full... unbiased opinion, because I've been using Blender for so long that these things are much more natural for me, right? So like I press C on my keyboard, I've got this like select thing, I then right click to get rid of it, I press S, and you can either press Z and flatten because I want to do it, or you can press S and middle mouse click it and go in the direction you want. So I want to flatten it on this direction, so I got that. See what I mean? So we've got the flat top. I then need this part to actually flatten out a bit more, like that. Something you can do, another modeling little trick that people do, is I want here and here to have these little plastic bits that come out. Now, if I want them as a separate mesh, what I can do is I can bevel these parts like this, give them room. I can then duplicate this out, pushing Shift D, and I now have a separate piece that I can pull out. See that? If I wanted a little divot actually still in our mesh, I could put in 2 bits in here, grab them both, and then scale, press S, Shift, and then if you press Shift and then press XYZ, it will exclude that. So we're excluding Z, meaning it won't be scaled up and down, because as you can see, this is going up and down. So excluding the Z, we can pull that in. Now we've got these pinch points, and if I want these parts to look a bit nicer, we can pinch them towards that, like so. I think the best thing is to just focus on getting ready, really good with any 3D software. Then you can jump between if needed. So yeah, I could jump between Maya and Blender a lot. I don't necessarily think either of them are hard. It's just about dedication of learning the tool. And I feel like I can confidently say that because I can use both pretty effectively. So I feel like I can say that and be completely confident in that. Does that make sense? That I do think that they're necessarily not hard to learn. It's just about dedicating that time to learning them, right? There's like a weird shape here and here. It goes like this. And you very comfortable her. Looks really fun seeing so fast. It's just, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. It just comes down to like that time dedicated to learning it. And like, I mean, not only do I use the software like every day for work, I also talk when using it, right? Either at work or when I'm talking to you guys. So I have that like ability to also pay as little attention as I do, and I can still use the software, remember all the shortcuts, move things around, and I can just, I'm able to talk while doing it, which is a huge difference between certain people. Because some people, when they're using software, it's like some people playing video games, right? You'll watch certain people play video games, and they're completely engrossed in the game. If you talk to them, they might tell you to shut up, because like, I'm focusing, man. I'm just like, all right, chill. Whereas because I taught myself to also learn how to use the software while talking, I can focus way less on it. Does that make sense? It's kind of like that. The problem, it's just like kind of like it's kind of like that. The problem is because it's subdividing, it doesn't work properly. So what we can do is we can grab this, pull that in. Grab you, pull you in. No, it doesn't look right. Let's do it like that. And I can separate it. So if you don't know a tool in Blender as well, you can press F3 and type that tool, which is also really nice. Oh, wait. I didn't realize someone asked in the other chat about using Blender. I think Blender is a really, 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 really good piece of software. I prefer Blender to Maya tenfold. I think Maya is such a... for how much Maya costs, I know you can get indie licenses and stuff, but for it being a professional company and how much it costs, I think it's just garbage. That's a huge statement for me to say, but it's when I'm comparing, it's like comparing like a £5, like this is a £20 mouse, but imagine someone gives you a £5 mouse and then someone gives you an £80 mouse. Or let's say a £10 mouse. You've got a £10 budget mouse, so it gives you an £80 mouse. The £80 mouse, sure, it could do everything it can do, but it's a basic mouse, no extra buttons on the side, no bells and whistles. It could just do that basic thing. Yet the £10 mouse, not only is it well built and it could do all those things, it's got all these extra things it could do in it. It's got all these extra buttons. You can unlock the wheel and let it go indefinitely, you know, stuff like that. That's Blender to me. Blender is a much more affordable software. It's literally free. I'm gaming industry, which 3D software they use. They use Blender and Maya mostly. 3ds Max actually seems to be the one that's phasing it out, weirdly enough. I would have thought it would have been Maya that phased out, but because 3ds Max has more tools than Maya, but I guess it's because Maya's better for animating. So if you want to also do animation, Maya's the way to go. But Blender and Maya are used quite a lot, but because people can work from home now, I think they're kind of allowing people to just use whatever they want. So what you can do is you can actually... Oh, I should have just done that, actually. Let's reconnect it. What you can do is you can crease. Another tool that's really cool in Blender. So what creasing does is it will sharpen a point for you, right? He says without sharpening a point. Oh, it's because I'm not smoothing. It will sharpen a point for you. So if you do this and then go to crease it, it will sharpen out without the need to add another edge loop. So if I do something like this. Hey, been a while. Hey, hey, I am sorry. How's it going, man? I'm getting a lot of people around me coming that I've not seen in a while. I remember Sora, though. That makes it sound... That sounds so mean. You remember Sora, but don't remember me. Sora used to talk in chat quite a lot, from what I remember anyway. So I do remember Sora. I don't think it's been too long, right? 4 years and 11 months. Woo! Damn. Do something like that. It still doesn't really work as a top of a... It's because it comes to a point. What shape is actually going on here? I think I've just not got the right shape to do it. Because it's not... It comes to a point, which is the problem. Like, it comes to, like, here, and then it all goes to a point, I guess. I don't really know what's going on. Like, these parts look like they pull down. So, like, here. Or do these parts pull up? And then we've got parts in here. Oh, no, sorry. Much last. Right, and then it kind of looks like these parts go inwards, but do they go inwards or like an extrusion? No, that's not. That's not what we're looking for. It kind of looks right from a distance, but yeah. Anyways, with 3D modeling, you've got like all the you got loads of different choices of tools, and it's just depending on what you want to use and stuff. We actually made the other day. I was showing how to 3D model again the other day. What did we make? Where is it? For open, see for fun, house 2, house tutorial, map pad, garage door, electric lighter. We made this the other day, which is literally because I said the easiest thing is when you look at something actually on your desk and you make it. And this is an example of that. I have this in my hand, and I made this. I don't know how much of this you can see in the camera, but yeah. So there's a lot of differences. I didn't do a fancy bottom to it. One also big difference I've just noticed is down here. It's actually way longer like that. A huge long part at the bottom. Oh, maybe not quite that actually. Very close though. Maybe like this. But the problem is also these guys are a little bit more in the center. No, not like that. Like this. Cool, like about there. They're not fully in the center, just a little bit more like this. This is actually thinner by the looks of it, so more like that. Oh, that doesn't work. We've got to scale it on that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just started to follow you on Twitch as well. YouTube, I started following you when you created that photo reel. Photo reel. I mean, I'm glad you consider it photo reel. God, that was ages ago. That was the first thing I made, wasn't it? My art station is basically a history of me streaming. I think everything on, almost everything on here I've made on streams, like those two here onwards, has been streamed. So resources on YouTube, you could try the one almost everyone started with, the donut from. Someone was telling me the other day not to use that tutorial. I don't think I ever used it. I definitely have seen it, but the problem with, I don't know what the problem people were having with it, but someone I was talking to said don't use it because it teaches you bad habits or something. I don't know. I guess if you're being a 3D artist, I guess you should do particle systems for like sprinkles and stuff, which you'd never actually do. You could convert them to meshes and bake it, right? And bake the color information down into substance. That's the thing. Like, there's a big difference between CGI rendering and real-time rendering, which people don't seem to understand. I didn't understand as a kid. Like, when I saw something look as good as Toy Story, for example, then I saw these games that looked awful. Well, awful for today's standard, but like back then that was good. But when comparing it to Toy Story or something, I was like, why does it look way worse? And I couldn't, as a kid, comprehend why something rendering that takes 1 hour to render a frame. I think it took longer than that for that anyway. But 1 hour to render a frame, you needed a minimum of 30 frames per second. So technically 24 frames per second, but 30 frames per second for video games, right? So a video game wasn't running at 30 frames per second. It just didn't look good. So you had to make it run to that point, whereas CGI, you don't have that limitation. I started following you when you made the Ratchet Clank Taxi. Heck yeah, the space scene. We've done a lot on stream, right? I feel like I'm a bit slow. Like some artists, like I've been doing this, what? So this is the first thing I made. 5 years. So I've been doing this for like 5 years, and I feel like in 5 years I've only made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 scenes. We've got other stuff in here, like individual assets I've made, the gun, the tank, and everything. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fast one. I've even got a character, but I feel like we have a lot of fun when we stream. I don't tend to actually focus too much on actually doing the art. I just like chat with you guys. I mean, come on, me chatting. I made this. There's no reason for this to exist. I just thought it'd be a fun thing to show you guys how to make. One way you can actually do this, which I know a lot of people would freak out at me, especially probably Megapixel, is see, it's already the wrong shape, right? But let's just pull it out anyway. Let's do this, do this, do this. Probably just get a cylinder out. Get an odd amount. So we'll just go 15. Wait, odd amount? Yeah, odd amount. 15. Put this over here. Pull this away. Oh. Wait, how is it? Oh, I'm more confused. Maybe I should have done odd amount. There you go. Do they align? No, they don't. Wait, how did... Maybe it's supposed to be even. That's way too many. Hold on a minute. Pull it in one. Cool. Then we could delete these. You could dissolve that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's like that kind of shape. Probably a bit thicker, actually. And hopefully I can just fill it in. And then what you can do, and this isn't the best way to do it, but we'll see how it looks. Is do this, do this, do this. And then go boolean that. Apply, delete that, and boom. We have a hole in our geometry. As you can see, it gets a little bit messed up. It's the problem with using Boolean. A lot of people like Boolean, but the problem with using it is it will very quickly mess up your geometry. You can work around at resolving it. So like, merge last, and basically start connecting at points where it should be. Problem here is I want this to go smooth into here. So the best is probably to do something more like this. Making the circle a little bit not misaligned necessarily, but so have that actually connect to here instead. Wait, I think I did that wrong on the opposite side, didn't I? Have this connects to here. Have this connects to here. We've got this one which we could fix in a bit. So I want this get to here. But yeah, that's one huge problem with using Boolean is you have to clean it up at times. Sometimes you're absolutely fine, but there are times where it's like, oh no, that doesn't work, and you end up having to clean a lot. So you got to determine whether or not it's easier for you to clean things up, or if it's easier for you to just thingy. And yeah, there you go. You kind of get that shape we're looking for. You can then, oh, we're not quite there yet. Hold on a minute. Cool. You can then work on like beveling parts to make that look better. Ooh, that's not beveling the way I thought it was going to. Oh, I wanted to basically have it do something like this. Is there an angle on that? Look at that. That's interesting. Is it needing flipping? Whoa. Oh, it is. Merge distance. There you go. That should bevel fine now. And then you can start working on... Wow, weirdly enough, that doesn't... Huh. Oh, because you definitely need to do this. And then knife cut there. So yeah, always watch out when you start bullying stuff, because... Start bullying someone. If we start bullying stuff... Boolean stuff, because you'll end up at times with things that just don't work. Now, a lot of time, I think I showed booleans on the Endgame video I made, and at times you'll be perfectly fine, but yeah, it just comes down to what you're making. Sometimes you won't be fine, sometimes you will be, sometimes you won't even have to think about it. It's just worth making sure it works when you're working on using a tool like that. Can I use a bevel now? Why can't I use a bevel here? What is going on? And now this just should do a better, yep, better bevel. It's like so. I know you guys are typing. I'm just focusing right now. You can do something like that. Still not. Wow, it's still basically not doing it though, is it? Like that's not. Oh, it does want to do that. That's what I can say for else. You can also do something like this. Just like these, because it's a bit sharp right now. I'm trying to smooth out those angles a little bit. We do have a massive angle over there, but that's fine. Just try to get a bit more smoothness in there. Yeah, and it's just about working with it till you get the shape you're looking for. I'm the OG Alien Dance Party Parrot. Oh. What about the ball tool in Blender? Will that do the same? Yeah, mostly. That should basically have the same results. Angles are just very finicky. And I think there are some tools that people have made that make them a bit less bad with geometry, because they're easy. Like I can fix that. Look, I just created all those tries and boom, it's like a decent shape now, and we have a hole that is reminiscent of what I've designed it from, which is this. To be fair, the top is supposed to curve out like that, but we've got it. It's almost there. It's almost there. If I was putting this in a game and it looked like this, and someone said, "Oh, that's not perfectly accurate," I'd say, "I don't care," and I'll just put it in, because it's like close enough that nobody's going to care. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit wide. Well, yeah, it is a little too wide, but there you go. You can hook it on things. Voila. Anyways, that's all I wanted to do for today's stream. We got the cabinet unwrapped, which is basically, which is basically all I wanted to do. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I hope I could get some more streams done in the future when I'm not feeling too garbage. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye. Boop.